Gather round for the Oke Farm Pondcast with Doug Davis.
All right, Ryan and Natasha.
Yes.
Guys, I am so excited to have y'all here.
Same.
I mean, as I think, like, where do we even begin? Because I have so many thoughts about where I want to take this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just start with, I guess, the very first thing. I want to share with the group, like, the first time I ever met you guys, and help me remember if I'm thinking about this right. Y'all heard about the farm, and y'all flew all the way from California for one of our farm to table dinners. Am I remembering that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we connected. We talked about the possibility of you guys coming here.
It's right
but,
there.
But y'all were, we're literally right here. But y'all already had, and we'll get more into kind of what y'all do and everything, but y'all were already so invested in Southern California, and there were a lot of things that had to happen. And so we went from, this is something you really wanted to do, to you guys like dug in and like figured it out over this period of time. And that feels like a million years ago, but then I blinked my eyes and y'all are like here now. And so when I think about you guys, some of the I guess the words that come to mind are like persistent, resilient, inventive, and also visionary. And so for maybe those people that are watching, I mean, that's like what I'm showing up with right now, like that expectation of you guys. And so maybe we could just jump off. I've already said y'all's names, Ryan and Natasha, and I've already hinted at where y'all are from, but maybe for the folks that are listening, maybe just share a little bit about, like I was inferring about what y'all were doing. Talk a little bit about like what y'all were doing in Southern California, maybe, if that's okay.
For sure. Yeah. First off, thank you for those words. I appreciate that, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it most of our journey started with her starting a business.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we own a wellness center in San Luis Obispo, and I have to say, like, you're talking about us as visionaries. Like, when we came out here and Ryan was like listening to a podcast, I remember walking through the door and it was you and Jeff talking. And I was like, what is this? Like, and I made him stop, and I was like, start it from the beginning. And I stopped what I was doing and I sat down and we watched it.
I heard this. I love this.
And I just like looked at him and I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
And that's what like made us want to come out here and see. Like, I think it was like a month from when we first saw it to when we made it out here. We made a whole vacation out of it. Ryan planned it, and we honestly kind of expected to show up and I don't know, be disappointed. Honestly.
Right.
But we came out here and it was even better than what we imagined, which I think is really hard to do. So
yeah.
Good job, you and Jeff, for like making that happen.
Well, I have to say this, because when I listen to these conversations I have with people, I mentioned this. You guys will hear. I did another interview recently with one of our other residents, and I made the same comment. But for those people listening, like, this isn't rehearsed. I'm not paying y'all to say any of these things. This isn't a sales ad. The purpose of this podcast isn't to like a paid advertorial. It's like to get to know the people and the story behind the farm, just to document it, because we're all kind of pioneers together. Yeah. I was talking with Christy about, being among the first. You guys are among the first. And one of the beautiful things I think about what we're doing is we're just kind of cataloging what was going on at the farm during this moment in time. And so I didn't mean to interrupt you, but for those listening, because sometimes people will talk about, how awesome it is. And I wonder, are they thinking that this is like this is rehearsed and everything else? And it's so much further from that. Like it has nothing, like we have no idea what we're going to be talking about. So sorry to interrupt, but I had to mention that. So
sure.
Yeah.
So it truly is our experience. Like we were surprised at how much had already been completed. I mean, I know there's so many more lofty goals ahead, but it's just when we first stepped foot on it, we were like, well, we have to figure out a way to make this happen. I mean, we obviously went back to California, started getting our ducks in a row in terms of the business and staying in contact with you, and then also, of course, the brokerage and and getting those things figured out, and then found out okay, I mean, when we have to sign papers, we'd have to fly out. Like, well, wouldn't it make sense to just move out and live in Jacksonville? Yeah, and be there for the building. Yeah.
You guys told me it was like y'all were in Southern California. Next thing I know, oh, you're moving to Jacksonville.
Yes. Yeah. And we loved it. We loved almost year we spent in Jacksonville, we really enjoyed, and had never spent much time there other than briefly at Jack's Beach when we came for the dinner.
Right.
And so it was the first time experiencing the city and really loved it. But then we could tell that we were, ready to get to the farm after that. I'd be like, okay, we've had another big city experience because we've lived in Denver before. I lived in San Francisco for a while, and I was like, we don't know if we're big city people, but we love Jacksonville. We love the small neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So each felt like its own little town.
Yeah.
But then it felt even more natural when we were able to get on site here.
Yeah.
And
well,
we hit it at the right time with blackberry picking, blueberry picking. And we got everything's in bloom.
Don't forget the mayhaws.
The mayhaws. We got here just in time for the mayhaws. For sure.
Well, the fun thing to think about is, because I'm learning, this is new for me to hear about some of this stuff for you guys, but also one of the cool things about learning or hearing about you learning about Jacksonville is that's not wasted experience, because not only is it part of your story, but even being here in Folkestone, it's a quick drive to Jacksonville. And so having the understanding of that area, developing maybe some favorite places to go visit and everything else, that's kind of a cool thing that if you would have just moved straight here, I'm not sure if you would have discovered that, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's really neat. I hadn't thought about that before.
Yeah.
Well, y'all moved out. Y'all have been here for 30 days, 40 days or so. I know you started off in the honeybee and now you've transitioned. And I know, from talking with you guys, you love it out here, but it'd be fun to maybe hear, what were some of the things that when you came to the dinner and when y'all would come visit? I mean, to be fair, you guys have come out here so many times, even when you're in Jacksonville, y'all come out here. Yeah. But what were some of the things that you're really hoping for, maybe that from a lifestyle perspective, that you were really hoping to find when you got here, maybe that have met your, not necessarily your expectations, but have maybe either met your expectations, been different, or maybe they exceeded. I don't know. Yeah. Just talk a little bit about how, because you always, sorry to monopolize the conversation, but I'm thinking in terms of experiences. You always anticipate one thing, but what you find is not always the same. So I'd just be interested to think about, there was so much longing to get here and to be here. What does it look like now that you're here?
Well, I think one of the things that we were both hoping for was more of, I guess, less of a dependency on screen time for entertainment. It's at the end of a work day, you're drained. It's you want to go out and do stuff, but you're just I don't know, let's just watch a movie. Yeah. We rarely watch anything. Yeah. It's after work, we're you want to go hang out in the blackberry fields and just pick blackberries?
Go feed the pigs?
Or we just go take, scraps to the pigs and watch them go crazy, and go check out the baby chicks and just watch the cycle of life around the farm. And I think that's been really fun.
Have y'all questioned whether or not it's healthy to eat as many blackberries as you do in the evening times? I've actually questioned myself. I'm I'm consuming a lot of blackberries.
We thought you were going to miss the season, so we picked you an entire bag. We forgot to bring it over, but we'll talk about that later. But
nice. Well, y'all are so thoughtful.
Of course, sure.
Well, I have not missed the season, and the evening times. That's I love to as the sun's going down, especially just before it's dark. I like to walk out and just forage. Load up. The blackberries. For sure. Never gets old, for sure.
Totally. Yeah. I think, for me, what ended up exceeding my expectations really was the community aspect of it. Because we had discussed for about 15 years, I've been trying to convince her, we should go buy land and we should start farming. We can figure this out. We can learn stuff on YouTube. We can do all these things. And I would always bring up Belize because it was lower cost, and then easier point of entry. Some farms have already been started, that type of thing. And then of course, when I every time it'd be, well, what about if something goes wrong with one of our families? We got to fly back. Like, who takes care of the farm? Who takes care of the animals? What about our neighbor? Like, it's great to, you know, have space between neighbors, but also we're going to want human contact, and we're not going to be able to find that as easily because our neighbors are going to be many miles away.
Right.
And then, so by setting foot here, and like, the people that we've met have been like instantly within the first few weeks have become really close friends and important relationships to us.
Yeah.
That even if they were just part-time, if they ended up, you know, not staying all the time, it would be friendships that we look forward to when they're coming back or whenever they're in town.
And it's like really cool, just the text chain, like the whole, you know, old thought of like, oh, go ask your neighbor for a cup of sugar. It's like, it's very real here. Like, right before coming here, we dropped off a pie pan because someone needed a pie pan, you know. Got a text message yesterday, hey, you know, our bike is having difficulties. Does anyone have bike tools? And it's just like, everyone's just so eager to help one another.
Yeah.
That it just, I don't know, it feels really good. And there's like there wasn't even this like time of feeling like, oh, we need to get to know you. It just like, it felt really comfortable from like the first second. And I think that really, it has a lot to do with the kind of people that this attracts, just because of the values and all the intentionality that you've put into the design, but also, you know, Jenny and Curtis, like how they've kind of set up this intentional like community culture of like, this is what's kind of, you know, expected. Like when you show up, like we're here for each other.
Yeah. And at the same time, there's no have to. There's always something available to participate in, but then no one's being like, oh, you couldn't make it to this, or you couldn't make that. It's you get to what you can get to, or you help where you can help, or we've got tomato sauce. Like, do you have extra eggs on you? Like, so we don't have to walk down to the coop, whatever it is. Yeah.
I love it.
For sure.
Yeah.
That is really
And
cool.
that's been fun too. We have some sourdough bakers.
Yeah.
So
Close
like,
by.
hey, like we just made a big batch of salsa. Do you like spicy things? Cool. Here you go. Oh, we get sourdough. Awesome.
Yeah.
An unintentional trade, but yeah, it works.
I made salsa. I guess it was the night before last. I love it.
It's so good here.
So good.
It's so good here. Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
You know, I did something different this time. I had seen, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the show before. It's called Meat Eater. And it's a conservationalist, but he purposefully goes out and experiences hunting with different people around the country, in some cases around the world. And then he takes the harvest and he prepares it. And I was watching him meet with a guy from Mexico, and they were making salsa. And one of the things the guy from Mexico did was he had like this cast iron pan, and before he made the salsa, he threw his tomatoes in there, his peppers. Y'all are from California.
We love
the
it.
onion in there whole, and the garlic and all the stuff, and like kind of like scorched it, for lack of a better word, on all sides. And I've made a 55-gallon drum of salsa in my lifetime, but I've never done that before. And so I tried it. And,
how'd it come out?
It was awesome.
Good.
It was absolutely awesome. Is that the way y'all do y'all's?
Not always, but she did recently, and
we
just had it. It was really good, but also the next batch of hot sauce, we did it that way too. So get you some of that.
I would love some. Yummy.
Oh, the jalapenos and serranos here are amazing.
I love it. Oh gosh, I love peppers.
Yeah. And that was the other thing I was a little like worried about, was like, oh, like going to the grocery store, because we really tried to eat organic or regenerative, like, you know, no sprays. And it's like, yes, there's a lot of food on the farm, but you know, we don't have everything. And it's not always in season. And and just getting here, it's like we haven't, you know, frozen and canned and preserved things. So but we did one like bulk food order once, and that's it. We've been fine with everything on the farm, and I think that's been really great. But I did catch myself, because right when we first moved in, before we really had too much like unpacked and everything, I went over to a neighbor's house and I was like, oh, do you want me to bring anything? And then I was like, just kidding. Like, I don't really have anything to bring unless you need me to stop by the garden or something. Because it's not like I can, you know, run to the store real quick and pick something up on my way.
Well, one of the fun things I think about, you know, talking about like the subsiding side of it is, I know recently, I don't know if y'all were able to participate, but we did some pickling and,
Yeah.
and canning and stuff like that. Like I could see over time building up a trove
Oh, yeah.
of things like that would sustain you through, because I mean, Lord willing, we want to have some aquaponics at some point that would take salad vegetables through the wintertime, so that we'd probably
Cool.
always have tomatoes and
Yeah,
lettuce
that's
and things
nice.
like that. But until we can do that, tomatoes, we can probably grow tomatoes here, unless we have an early freeze, probably 8 to maybe even sometimes 9 months, maybe probably closer to 8 months out of the year.
That's fantastic.
And but so best case scenario, you still got 4 months without tomatoes. I love tomatoes.
Yeah.
So I've got to have canned tomatoes. So I've now worked through all my cans, but I was thinking to myself, it would be really cool to have a dedicated place where you literally just have all your stuff. And so I could see you guys over time building up a reservoir of canned, pickled, and other stuff, so that maybe your reliance isn't completely zero, but it could be pretty close to zero.
Yeah.
Really
on
close.
having any other orders or anything.
Definitely. No, we'd love that. And we've already kind of started that with the thought processing. We bought a bunch of jars so that we're like, okay, if anything looks like it's about to go bad, we'll just start blanching and,
I mean,
and jarring.
the amount of tomatoes that we've produced this year,
So many.
I mean,
Yeah.
our hogs have been eating tomatoes. I mean,
Yes.
we can't
Yeah.
pick them fast enough.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you had the time and you had the wherewithal, we could fill this cabin with jarred tomatoes.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
We'll show you a picture of our windowsills, because after the recent storm, the tomatoes got knocked down in the garden, in the market garden. And so we went out there and a bunch of us harvested. We basically filled a giant one of those like plastic bins with the green tomatoes that got knocked off.
Right.
So we could window ripen them.
Yeah.
And so we literally had like all these cake pans and 9x13s, like filling up every single spot in our windows in the front of the house. And we actually took those over to can and the most recent, and made how many quarts of, it's probably like 4 gallons actually of pasta sauce.
Pasta sauce. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Lots
Now,
of
have you
great
tried frying any of those green tomatoes yet?
We will. That's on the list. Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the fried green tomatoes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so as you guys probably already know, I can get sidetracked real quick on food. Back to you guys. So I want to talk to me a little bit about, and you don't have to go into great detail about the wellness center, but talk to me just at like a high level, some of the things that kind of were of interest to y'all that led you in that direction, and then maybe some of your motivations behind what you were doing there. And then, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about that, because I don't even know the backstory on that.
Yeah. When I was a teenager, that's how long ago it started. I was raised in a very Western-minded household, and it was like, you go to the doctor if anything's even remotely wrong. Doctor knows best. If the doctor says these are your 2 options, that's it, and you accept it, and that's the end of the story. I had really severe TMJ after braces, and my mom took me to a TMJ specialist that basically said, avoid opening your mouth past 2 fingers wide, avoid chewing as much as possible, take Advil for the pain every day, or surgery, which may or may not fix it. And at that time, it was literally like breaking your jaw and rewiring it. So I just decided to live with it. But then I was dealing with chronic pain, like neck pain, jaw pain. My jaw would lock. People could hear me chew from across the room. It was embarrassing. It was uncomfortable. And a massage therapist at my job at the time was offering trade in exchange for advertising. So I didn't have much experience with massage. She basically spent 30 minutes on me doing I don't know what at that time. I was like, I told her this is what hurt, but she was touching everywhere else and I don't understand it. But when I got off the table, my headache was gone. I had more range of motion in my jaw. And it just kind of like opened my eyes. I didn't really know much about alternative health. And that was before we met.
Right before we
met.
Yeah.
So I ended up seeing her. I don't have TMJ anymore.
Wow.
And something that I was told that I was going to have to live with.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, okay. And it just like, it took me on this path of getting really curious about health. And then, okay, what else have I been told isn't fixable? And, we ended up kind of going on this journey together because we lived completely different, lifestyles than what we do now when we met in our early 20s. And I ended up going to massage school, started learning more about
motivated by that
experience. Yeah. And just the love for our small town.
Right.
I really wanted to move to a big city actually after graduation, but I just loved SLO so much that I don't know, stuck around. I'm glad I did. But yeah, so it ended up opening a massage studio. It just continued to grow. And at that time, there wasn't much talk about wellness.
Right.
Or getting massage beyond like when you go on vacations or special occasions. That was like right when a major massage chain, which shall remain nameless, started growing in popularity and started making regular massage memberships like a more like commonplace thing. And
in Southern California or everywhere?
Across the country.
Okay.
Yeah. So eventually started learning more about how our health is connected to like planetary wellness. Because if we're not taking care of our environment, like how can we be healthy? And it just like continued to evolve over time because we were hearing things from our guests that were coming in that they were dealing with other things, whether it's like allergies or chronic pain or, depression and anxiety, or just wanting to look for other things that and not wanting to explore pills or surgery as their only option, or accepting whatever they were dealing with as it.
Yeah.
So it continued to grow over time. We're in a 1,500 square foot now. We have over 12 different modalities under our roof.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it got to the point where it was like we were adding all these things, and it's like it's amazing how when you live like a traditional, like a modern lifestyle, all the things that you feel like you have to do in order to combat the level of stress and difficulty sleeping and time in front of a computer screen and all that. And that was a big part of what also made us want to come to an environment like this. Is it just, I don't know.
We were hustling.
Nervous system is just.
Yeah. We were hustling to like mimic what we can get now by like walking outside and getting the sun, like walking around barefoot and just for that reason. I mean, we had a red light bed because we had so many people who were in front of computer screens all day, and it's like you need to get some of this red light even because you're not getting it from the sun enough. Right. And so there was that part of it. Like, I mean, I'm skateboarding and snowboarding and playing football, tons of concussions. And so like we looked into let's try cryotherapy. Let's see if that can help with that. We got infrared sauna in there just to get some infrared for people who aren't maybe getting in the sun enough, or just trying to sweat out some toxins with a denser sweat, if you will, right? And so, I mean, that grew and grew. I'm adding in salt, Somodome meditation pod, again, like she said, like calming the central nervous system for people was huge in their healing journey. So, I mean, obviously now we get it a little more naturally, but of course, there's some of those things where, I mean, like now the swimming hole in winter will be our cold plunge, right? And things like that. Yeah.
So it's kind of neat what I'm hearing you say. And I know this isn't for everyone because everyone's not going to live out here. And I know that your center, there's a lot of people that it's a fix for, but kind of the fun thing I'm hearing you say is that, using y'all as the guinea pigs, you were spending a lot of time, a lot of money undoing what you were doing. So you had this time and this commitment to create the issue. And then you had this time, money, and commitment to undo the issue. Yep. And now you're just not creating the issue. And so you're saving both time and money. Is that maybe a way to say it?
Yeah. Absolutely. And maybe not be the greatest thing for our business.
Fair enough.
But it is the reality of the situation of like, if we're going to live life a certain way or make certain decisions, like you don't want the consequences of those decisions
Yeah.
later on down. It's like you need to be doing things that are going to help refuel your body.
Yeah.
And it's like the lifestyle that we're living out here is less of a strain. I miss red light. I miss all of our services.
Yeah.
And I just think about how amazing we would feel if we lived this kind of lifestyle and we were doing this. Like that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it feels, I don't know. It just feels different out here. Life is just different.
I mean, there is a massive amount of healing that takes place. I mean, just like our dogs are different now. Like our dogs would like go nuts if someone knocked on the door or stopped by. People come by and they just walk up, sniff, and walk away now. They're much calmer than they were anywhere else we've ever lived.
The only time we've heard them bark the entire time we've been here is at the guardian dogs.
Right.
That barked at them first.
Yeah.
Which, they would usually be the instigators, for sure.
That's an interesting data point.
We've actually heard that from other neighbors too. Most people have cats out here.
Yeah.
But we've also heard that from our neighbors that, their cats are way calmer and like approaching more people.
I think about these things a lot as well, and I've mentioned this before, and I don't know if this will resonate with you guys, but I remember as when I was younger, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and I remember especially my grandma. She was born in the country. I mean, she was backwoods, poor, and well, both grandmas were, but this one, I would remember anytime when I was a kid, something was wrong with me. She would be like, well, you need to go get in the salt water. You need to go get in the sunlight. You need to take an incandescent light bulb and shine it on this area. And I remember thinking to myself, this lady's lost her mind. As a kid, we've got Neosporin and we've got all this medical stuff. And when I'm listening to y'all talk, I have this vision. It's almost like, we as a society that we live in at large, we've outsmarted ourselves and stripping away all of these a lot of these technologies. Now, I know I'm not talking about stripping away everything, but like simplifying life and stripping away all of these things is really the healing antidote to a lot of what we're doing.
I completely agree.
Instead of the additive of trying to fix everything all the time, the stripping away and simplifying is a much easier, much more costly, and much more time improving way to do it, I think, to a large degree. And again, I'm not trying to preach to people out there that may be listening to us, but from what you're saying, I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Well, and allopathic medicine, I believe when you look at the roots and the word, it basically means to do the exact opposite. And so it's like, if you have a fever, what do? You try to squash the fever.
Right.
And, the older, more, I don't know. We'll just say the older, more
wise
is more like, okay, you have a fever. What do you need to support your body in order to help it process it? Because your body doesn't make mistakes.
Right. Yeah. Because it has a fever for a reason, right?
Yes.
Like it's trying to react to something.
Yeah.
Swelling's the same thing and so forth and so on.
Yeah. Definitely. And so I have a wish list for the farm.
Okay, let's hear it.
that one day that we have like a medicinal garden, because I know that there's flowers and herbs in standing garden.
Yep.
But it would be really cool to just have an area that's just like, oh, you're not feeling well. Well, guess what? Just go out.
Right. So this is a perfect opportunity. Okay. So first I'll say two things. Number one, we had a guy come the other day. I've got fingers crossed. I think he'd be such a good fit out here. His wife has passed away. She and he were serving in Africa, helping folks, but they had gone over there when she got cancer and they were living off the land, and she was in remission for many years, living naturally. Yeah. But they learned how to use herbs and other things to heal. And so while he was here, he's interested in moving to the farm, and he was here several weeks ago. And while we were talking, he asked me specifically, do you have like a healing garden, like a herb garden for, herbal remedies and stuff? And I said, no, but we need you to come and help us create it. So I don't know if he's going to come or not, but I would ask you, like there's nothing that would prevent us from doing that. So we should, that should be something that we definitely kind of earmark as a goal, right? Like even if he doesn't come, I would imagine with our access to information, that's something that we could kind of community crowdsource around here and begin working on, right?
And I think that's one of the other things that I love is how open, like there's no like absolute set plan of like, this is exactly how it has to be on the farm. It's really cool to be part of something that we can like create together.
Absolutely.
Dream together.
Definitely.
Well, you already mentioned that earlier. Was it you? I think it was you who mentioned about Curtis and Jenny with the culture and everything. And I share that in a much more broad sense with folks all the time, because I believe it. I've seen it over my career building out places like this. Early adopters that are authentic, consistent, gregarious, all of these things, they really set the tone trajectory of what a place will become. Yeah. And so to your point, you guys have now opted in to that, and through these potluck dinners and through these other get-togethers and through this new garden that we're going to do that you're talking about, like coming together and doing this, like this, that is who we are, right? Like it's the sum of all the parts. It's the sum of the excitement, the curiosity. It's packaging all these things together and pushing it out to move forward. And so like you, that's what I love. That gets me more excited than anything here at the farm. And, there's a framework, obviously. I'm looking across, the people can't see it. We've got site plans on the wall and stuff like that. Like we have a framework for what we want to do, but I look at that as the infrastructure to facilitate really our dreams and our desires. And that's really all it is. It's not anything to box us in. It's really to promote what it is that we want to do. So absolutely. It's what we want to dream up together.
Yeah. I'm really excited about the rustic spa too that you guys have.
Yeah.
For sure.
It'll be good.
Yeah. And the water slide.
Yeah. One day.
Someday.
So what have we, these things just kind of, our conversations migrate. I'm sorry for the deviation we took into cooking and stuff, because that's always one of my favorite things to talk about. I get sucker for that. But what have we not talked about that you think might be fun for people to hear about Ryan and Natasha or about the farm? Is there anything that we would be remiss for missing on right now?
I guess the only thing that I've noticed in watching the podcast is I feel like you and Jeff have been far too humble about like what you're doing and your expertise and what you've done in your careers to make this even possible. I think that's what stood out most for us. Like the authenticity, of course, which is like what got us on the plane to begin with, and being like, wow, this isn't just something on the internet that I stumbled upon that may or may not be a scam. It's like, this is legit. And these guys are being honest. We can tell in the video, there's heart behind it. Yeah. And there's many decades of expertise. Yeah. And then each new person in the community, each new member of the team, each new member of each new owner, he's bringing even more expertise in other ways. If we went through the different occupations that people have had, I think it'd be staggering. Like what's possible and what's already here. Right. And it's literally just the beginning. It is very much the foundation, which is even crazier to think about, that there's so much more is possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for those very generous words. And Jeff and I are both, the same way that you're sharing about us. We look at this place, and when he and I are together, in fact, I'll be going over to his house a little bit later tonight. We don't sit around thinking about how great the pasture looks from a development standpoint. We get excited about the potluck tomorrow night. And those are the things that really, you hope will exist as the visionaries and as the people who want to put this together, but you can't force that, right? Like you guys coming here, Christy and Curtis and Jill, like ultimately the success of the place is found in who comes and shares in it and commits to becoming a part of the place. I mean, that's where the real magic and beauty occurs. So
Agreed.
real thankful for you guys. So glad. I mean, again, going back to that initial opening story, I know it felt like it may happen, it may not happen. And then we blink our eyes a few times and boom, y'all are here.
Exactly. Yeah. No, at first we were like, this is something, a goal for maybe 2 years from now. And then it was like, okay, well, they'll probably be in the pasture by then. Maybe not. I don't know. We really like the orchard. We like the feel of that. And we love like proximity to the goats and the swimming hole and the chickens and the wash pack. And like, so I'm really glad that it happened the way it did.
I'm really thankful.
Everything fell in line how it was supposed to, because I can't imagine that we'd be here if it wasn't. It would be 2 years from now or something. We would have made it happen, but at the same time, we're just really grateful to be part of this now with the community that's growing rapidly.
You guys are I can just honestly say y'all are a strong part already of what we're doing. And when I think about like future, I see your fingerprints all over it. So I'm super excited about what the future holds. Super humbled that you guys would trust us and become a part of the farm. And thank you guys very much. So, and thank y'all for coming on the podcast the podcast as well.
Yes.
Really grateful for y'all. So in keeping with kind of the tradition of closing with the one word close, I know that y'all have seen the podcast before, so you're probably familiar with that. I guess my first question is, did y'all come prepared with the one word close, or were you open to like figuring out on the spot?
I felt like that would have been a bad idea, because you get like, you don't know where it's going to go.
Love it. Absolutely. All right, ladies first.
Yeah.
Happy, and I'm out.
Okay.
All right. Wellness, and I'm out.
Oh, man. I always put too much pressure on myself to really get the right word. And since there's two of you, it's a little bit harder for me to pick one word.
So we can do a hyphenated.
I'm gonna choose. I'm trying to think of the right word. I'm gonna describe it to you. Maybe y'all can help me pick a word. When I think about you guys right now, I'm thinking about that last statement I meant, because that's what I really think about, is the impression that not only y'all have already made, but the future impression that you will make. It's like this idea of forward looking. Maybe
Ripple.
What is it?
Oh, ripple. I like that. Yeah, I was like fingerprints, because you had said fingerprints.
Did you say ripple?
Ripple.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Ripple, and I'm out. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Absolutely.